July 7, 1944. Dear Mom, gee, was I ever glad to get your letter. It was the first one I received here. That is what I needed to pep me up. In regard to the pen, it doesn't make a heck of a lot of difference, but I would like to have either a black or gray one. Thanks a lot. Gee, I'm glad you like my picture. I sort of liked it myself, too. Say, what did Grandpa McFarland's widow have to attract all the men? It couldn't possibly be her money or daughter, huh? That dinner surely sounded good. When I get home, am I going to eat? You ask what a bivouac is. It is roughing it for one day and night. We marched out from the field about 3 miles and pitched our tents. You ask why we had to sleep on the ground? Well, that's the only place to sleep. I wrote to Jim and Joe. Maybe if I do graduate, they can come to see me. They are only about 600 miles away. Well, now a little about this place. We don't know much, as we have no time to look it over. That covers that, I guess. This plane requires a heck of a lot of work to fly. Gee, the procedures really drives you nuts. You see, this 2-engine deal is a lot of work because you have twice as many instruments and controls as a 1-engine job. We have retractable wheels, constant speed props, and many other interesting features. Well, kid, I hope this letter wasn't boring to you. I guess I had better sign off and hit the sack. Your Jim. July 15, 1944. Dear Mom, well, I'm finally getting a chance to answer a few of your letters. We have little or no time at night for writing. You ask if we were allowed to fly home. We have to get a ride with a transport or an instructor. We couldn't just fly home on our own accord. It would be swell if we could. It would save a lot of time. Gee, I'm glad we are so near to being out of debt. It won't be long till I can help out again, I hope. I heard about that Powhatan mine fire over the radio. I wish I could see Sis Tyson. I wouldn't be surprised if she does try to come down when I'm home. You say you are suffering from the heat. Boy, you should be here where it is really hot. It cools off in the evenings, though. I haven't heard from Paul, but Charlie is in primary in Florida someplace. I'm glad he got in cadets again. I got about 11 hours in this 2-engine kite. Friday, I soloed it. Soloing here actually isn't soloing, as you are always riding with someone, co-pilot. Monday, we start the hardest part, I think, instruments. I don't have any trouble with them. Mom, we aren't sure of anything in this Army, but most every class gets at least a few days at home. I hope I get a lot of time home. We aren't sure that we will make lieutenant when we get through here. We may be flight officers. These guys wear the same clothes as an officer, get the same pay, but aren't commissioned. We all hope that we won't get this, but one can never tell. The way you described those pictures, they must be nice. Say, that supper you described was really tempting. Wow. Excuse, but all they have here is letterheads, so that's what I'm using. Yes, I received those long letters. That's the kind I like to get. Here's a joke. Maybe you will get a laugh. A soldier in England complained about the lack of plumbing in the houses. He said it's so uncanny. Get it? Your Jim. July 21, 1944. Dear Mom, I received your letter today. I really like the pictures, too. Gee, Sis is really big. I never realized how big she is. And she actually has hair, too. Gee! I now have 18 hours in this 2-engined box kite. I am doing okay in transition, but we started instruments, and I'm afraid I will have a little trouble with them. I hope not, though. The upper class found out today what they were destined to be. About 40% are flight officers. The rest are shavetails. I surely hope I make Louis. Of course, FOs are given the same pay and given the same respect, but I still want to be a Louis. I have been made temporary squadron commander for about 10 days. I'm getting up there, huh? The job is just marching the boys to mess, ground school, and to the flight line. Say, kid, I'll never know the place if you keep fixing it up. There are quite a few fellas here from Ohio. One from Dayton, Kenton, and Steubenville. Just like old home week, huh? I had formation flying this week. It is easier in this than the old BT, I think. The boys are all busy getting ready for the big inspection tomorrow. Maybe I should do the same. Good night. Your Jim. July 26, 1944. Greetings, Mert. Well, blank. What do you say? Excuse, please. It has been so hot today, and I have been working so hard that this rest at day's end is too much for me. You know, the sun kind of melts my brain or something. We are flying in the afternoons, and being hot, the air is really rough. Today I flew instruments, and the darn plane was bouncing around, and the needles vibrating so bad that I couldn't do much. About half the boys took a cross country today. I will take mine tomorrow, I guess. You ask about co-pilots. Well, all large planes have co-pilots. His job is to ease the pilot's work, helping him when he can. When you wrote me that Virginia had a baby, I couldn't for the life of me figure out who it was. So the old boy finally doed it. Most of the upper class were bringing their officers' clothes to the barracks today. Boy, I surely envy them. They finished flying about a week ago. They know what they are going to be, and they are just loafing around. Lucky boys. Yes, Mom, it will be very odd coming home after about 2 years away. I will probably talk different and act a little different. After all, I'm getting to be an old man. In age only, though. So Johnny Gray is up in the chips, huh? I will have to see him and get the story of his success and possibly his autograph. When you see Nelson, tell him to take it easy until reinforcements arrive. Well, Sugar Puss, take good care of that big sis of mine. Till we meet again, I remain your Jim. July 31, 1944. Dear Mom, say that paper was really good. I got a big kick out of it, too. I knew that DePaulis boy that was killed in France. You get that idea of going to work out of your head for the present, at least. Just 39 days to go. We mark the days off on the calendar, just like the prisoners do. Well, kid, just 3 more days of ground school. The upper class graduates Thursday. Quite a big day for them, I'll bet. We had a cross-country Saturday and another today. They were about 400 miles in length. They are all a lot of fun. I am almost finished basic instruments. Most of the instruments now will be radio range work, beam work. It is fun, too. I now have near 30 hours. That is quite a lot, huh? I broke down and went to town this weekend. To my surprise, I had a fairly good time. Mom, I forgot about BJ's birthday till a few minutes ago. I am sending $5. Maybe you can get her something. I'm sorry I forgot. Well, kid, I guess that is all for now. Take it easy. Your Jim. August 6, 1944. Dear Mom, this is the end of a very dreary day. It rains for about 10 minutes, then stops for 10. I went to the show this afternoon and saw Christmas Holiday. It was pretty good, but hard to understand. I am still sweating out instruments. I will probably have my final check this week. We also start night flying this week. The upper class graduated last week. One day they got their wings, and the next day they got their bars, and in some cases commissions. They were a happy lot that last day. We had a big parade. The whole post participated in it. Even a few of our wags, war dogs. I went to the big city of Alpine last night. It is pretty nice to be in Texas. They have a swimming pool about the size of our kitchen at home, a movie, and a nice USO. We got a steak dinner, took in a movie, then went to the USO dance. These Texas girls can't dance at all. I doubt if they could dance with themselves without getting on their own feet. Well, kid, 33 days to go. That isn't too long, is it? It seems like a lifetime, though. I am sending you the laughs out of our paper. That is the only thing interesting in it. Well, Mom, that is all for now. Take it easy. Your Jim. August 12, 1944. Dear Mom, just 27 more days to go. Not long, is it? I had my instruments checked yesterday. I think I passed it too. I was glad to get it over with. That is the hump you have to get over in advance. Well, Mom, I now have a ride home. A fellow that lives in Kenton is going to bring me as far as that. I can get a bus down from there. I figure on getting home about the 10th of next month. Gee, the time is going slow. We start night flying next week. We get 16 hours here. I now have about 36 hours altogether. I'll be flying a lot now. We have finished ground school now. We have details and PT and lectures a half day and fly the other half. Nope, Mary A. never wrote me, but Babs told me about her engagement. I don't care, 'cause I don't have any time to think of such trivial things. What am I saying? That's right, though. Yes, I got that letter from my friend that you sent. Say, Mom, will it be fairly cool when I'm home? I hope so, as I want to dress up real nice, and the clothes will be fairly hot. I don't know if I got my heavy bomber or not, as I am pretty short by 1 inch. But I may get them anyway. I guess this is all for now. Take it easy. Your Jim. August 16, 1944. Dear Mom, now that I have successfully completed instruments, I have a little cross-country and formation time to get in. This, of course, doesn't include night flying. You ask how much of the night that night flying takes. We go to the flight line at 18:30, 6:30 p.m., and get back to the SAC about 3 a.m. There aren't many towns around here, and boy is it black up there. Wow. Well, kid, only 23 days to go. Say, you ask about war dogs. Haven't you heard of the WAGs? These are dogs people give to the Army. If they are qualified, they are trained for different wartime duties. You remember the dogs of the last war. They are playing about the same part in this war. I got a letter from Mrs. Leonard. She tells me that all of my primary buddies made lieutenant but one. He made flight officer. Yesterday, the axe started to fall. 8 guys washed out. That makes about 12 so far. That isn't bad. I hope no more get it. Boy, this old night flying surely makes me tired and sleepy. Say, Mom, do you think someone could meet me in Steubenville Sunday the 10th? I think I got a ride to there. That is when we figure on being there. When I find out for sure, I'll let you know. If someone can meet me, it will be swell. Jim. August 23, 1944. Dear Mom, am finally writing. We are almost finished night flying. If we fly tonight, we will finish. Well, Mom, we found out what we made. I didn't make Louis. I made flight officer. It hurt at first to get it, but when you stop to realize that we wear the same clothes, get the same pay as a Louis, it isn't bad. The only difference is a Louis wears a gold bar. A FO wears bars about this size and description. A FO isn't commissioned. He gets a warrant like a warrant officer. We all have the same deal, so I don't mind it at all. Mom, I am sending a picture of me all dressed up. You can put it in the paper about the 8th of September if you don't hear that I got the axe before that. When you put the rank I graduated with, saying he was appointed flight officer, don't put commissioned. I hope you like the picture. I had a big one made for you, and will send about 6 small ones. I am keeping 6 for myself. You know my fans, ha ha. I didn't get that ride to Steubenville. I have a ride to Columbus. That isn't bad either. We'll probably get home sometime Sunday. I'll let you know more about it later. I have spent a little over my $250 clothing allowance already, but I got some good stuff. 16 more days here and 18 till I'm home. Gee. We are now sweating out final checks and transition assignments. Well, take it easy. Your Jim. August 27, 1944. Dear Mom, 2 weeks from today I'll be home if everything goes okay. 12 days till graduation. We finished night flying last Friday. I have a little day flying to go yet. The uniforms are starting to come in. I hope I get a good one. I didn't get that ride to Steubenville, but I got one to Columbus. That isn't bad. You ask about how many days I will get. Well, if I'm lucky, I will have about 8 days at home. This isn't much, but it will be good to be home. You ask if I would be ready for combat when I get through here. The answer is no. 2 more phases before that. Transition and a combat unit called OTU, Overseas Training Unit. If I get what I want, I may not go over. We are sweating out our assignments now. What a sweat. We should finish our flying this week, we hope. Boy, they are getting rough on us these last few days. It seems they would let up on us, but they don't. I have been doing a little research on getting as much money out of these guys as I can. I can get extra money for quarters and rations because of dependents. Good deal. Your Jim. September 2, 1944. Dear Mom, I definitely have a ride to Steubenville. Tell John F. he can meet me at the Fort Steuben Hotel. I will be there sometime Sunday the 10th. When we get, say, to Columbus, I will phone or wire you, and John will know the approximate time to be there. I have finished flying, and now a short wait, and the wings are mine. Gee. I still haven't got all of my uniforms. I hope they get here in time. I don't have any more news. We plan on being in Steubenville between breakfast and noon. I hope we can do it. Your Jim. September 19, 1944. Dear Mom, well, here's the boy again. We arrived about 4:30 yesterday afternoon. Boy, were we tired. Today we had to run all over the field to sign in. We picked up a room in the BOQ, Bachelor's Officers' Quarters. Gee, people now treat us like humans. Boy, eating in the officers' mess is swell. We eat just like in a home. Butter every meal, too. We went to see the director of flying today, and he put us to work. I will work about 4 hours every night as assistant control officer. My duty will be to help control traffic around the field, and it will give me a chance to get my 3 hours in so I can collect flight pay. Gee, this officers' club is swell. It seems like we are out of place, but we will get used to it. Gee, I had a swell time at home. If I had been home much longer, maybe I would have hooked a wife, or she may have hooked me. You know, I think Jenny is swell, don't you? I was surprised at my sis. Gee, she is smart, isn't she? She can hold a more intelligent conversation than I. Boy, it is hot here. I really like the type weather you had back home. How is it now? Bob Hope is on the radio now. Boy, is he crazy. I still get a big charge out of him. Did Sis miss me? You didn't cry when I left, did you? I did a little on the train at first. Big baby, aren't I? Well, kid, no news yet, so I will sign off for now. I have to go to work in a few minutes anyway. Take it easy and take good care of my sis. Be seeing you. Your Jim.